Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Pursuit Live. I'm your producer, Chris. Joining me, as always, is my faithful co-host and Pursuit Live's creator, Mr. Dave Hawkins.
What's up, killers? What's going on? Happy Friday night.
So, we are back. Season 5 is underway. Please, boys, I'm getting over being sick. Listen, Dave, the last time I was really sick, I had straight-up pneumonia. I just came from the doctor's office, and you know what? The show went on anyway.
Did you spell pneumonia?
That's what we're doing tonight. The show goes on.
That's
right. So anyway, I do want to introduce our guests from the Killshot Coffee Company. We have Kyle and Logan. Guys, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having us, guys.
So I don't know. Let's just get right into this, guys. I mean, if you could, each of you just kind of give us a little bit about your background. Like, tell us who you are. We kind of get it going here.
Yeah, Kyle, you've got a better story than me, so let me go first, so you don't, steal the spotlight too much. So I can, not to go too far back, straight out of college, I graduated maybe 3 weeks before the big shutdown in COVID. So everything I thought I was going to mess with, just right out the window. Had to get a job selling pretzels. And my last name is Wetzel, so you won't believe how many times I had to walk into a store and the store manager would say, Wetzel pretzel. I'd say, oh, yeah. I've never heard that.
Yeah,
Buy some pretzels for me. Anyway, got linked up with Kyle. We ended up doing a little bit of distribution together, and then here we are now 3 years later, and we kind of put the whole thing together.
Very cool. I just want to say I haven't gotten my paycheck yet from producer Chris, so I'm out in my freezing garage still. So it's a great night to have some coffee on hand. So
listen, when I negotiated to bring you back with your lawyer, there was no paycheck involved.
I'm going to mute you. No more talking for you. Yes, producer Chris isn't feeling too hot, so we'll cut him no slack tonight. We're going to keep going. Kyle, you're up, buddy. What's your background story? What brought you to where you're at today?
Absolutely. And Logan's humble too. He did mention that the company that he sold for, the pretzels, he was very instrumental in scaling a company called Dots Pretzels nationwide, which is a $1 billion company. And so, he's just not a little pretzel pusher. He's got some serious experience.
I like that pretzel pusher. I like that.
Pretzel
pusher. Yeah,
I can't even
put some respect on it. I'm the pretzel pusher, baby.
Good Lord. I'm gonna leave.
I'm from Arkansas. I heard you ask him. I could not spell pneumonia because in Arkansas we education.
You're a good company.
Yeah. So I think, is there a P in there? I think there's the letter P somewhere.
It's silent.
It's a silent, sneaky P. So
it is.
But anyways, I've been in the coffee industry now for 12 years. Out of college, I started a coffee company that expanded rapidly. We started working with Walmart and other brands like that. But then in the past 5 years, we started co-packing for other brands, and we co-pack for some really big brands and influencers that you'd heard of. But I was hungry for some meaningful impact, and Logan and I have been buddies. We both hunt. We both are like really excited about just being an American and what it means to be an American in American tradition. So we're kind of looking around for the next move, and we stumbled upon Killshot, which was a brand essentially living out of this guy's garage in Michigan. And, with my manufacturing background and Logan's distribution background, we're like, we should take this to market. This thing is not only going to sell a lot of coffee, but it's going to make some meaningful impact. And so we've been at it now for about 2 years. The first year we focused on DSD, so getting into grocery stores and stuff. And that kind of business is just a slog. And we just kind of put it up online to see if it would do anything. And last holiday, it just exploded. And now we're like, this is what I'm up here studying AI tonight at the office just to figure out like how to scale this thing faster, you know? So here we are.
I mean, that is the way. I don't even want to say the future because it's here. AI is here, and it's a tool. It's like anything. Look at social media. People have a lot of gripes about social media, whatever platform you might use. But Chris and Rob and everybody with Pursuit Live, we are firm believers that when it's used as a tool in the right way, it's awesome. The connections that you can make, the interactions that you can have, the people that you can meet, and you actually turn them into friendships and people that are there for you when you need them the most. So AI, I think it's just one of those things. It's new. It can be a little scary, but if we learn how to use it the right way, hopefully it's not Terminator scenario, but we'll see.
Right.
So if that happens, you'll find me on the rooftop with a bunch of Killshot coffee grounds and empty beer.
Hey. So we need a Terminator blend, like a Terminator.
There we go. There we go. Now, the coffee industry, right? You guys, especially you, Logan, you came right out of college and the world turned upside down like it did for everybody, So not only did you guys already go into an inundated market, which is the coffee market, you guys found yourself now in a niche market in the coffee market, being that just proud American, outdoors men and women, hunting, fishing, definitely geared that way. Did you guys have any concerns in the beginning? Did you hit any speed bumps along the way when you guys really tried to solidify that, look, this is the company we are, this is what we believe in, this is what we stand for. Either you like it or go kick rocks. That's hard to do as a business model. So talk about that a little bit.
Oh, yeah. In the beginning, I think it was, which Kyle touched on it, Bob, the founder, he was doing this as a passion project, just out of his garage, losing money every month because he liked it.
Right.
He was saying, I was roasting horrible coffee. I don't think the coffee was good, but the mission was good. And that's what he was doing. The coffee's gotten better. Bob does not roast it anymore for anyone watching. I want to make that clear.
We fired him for roasting coffee.
That's right. But no, we got in touch with him and were really, really blown away by somebody kind of with that much irrational just love for what he was doing. And like Kyle said, we thought that we could at least, make it worth his while doing it. So we got together, brought him in, he brought us in, and we never really looked back. But certainly in the beginning as a startup, that first 6-12 months, I mean, nothing works. You think something's going to work, you double down on it. That doesn't work either. I mean, it's really tough, especially at kind of a tumultuous time where being overly traditional or leaning too far one way is kind of looked down on by one other side. There's that split in the aisle and you're either on one side of it or you're not. And we try to do our best to stay true to ourselves, which is right down the middle. And there's hunters on every walk of life, So it was tough there in the beginning, but we established our identity and what we stand for and made it through.
Good for you. Because like you said, it's not easy to do. It's a very tricky, challenging time, whatever adjective we want to use to describe the world we're living in now. And it's one post, one phrase, one conversation away. And before you know it, family member, friend, coworker, whatever, gone. It's really unfortunate that it is that way. We're not going to dive too deep into the politics here, even though we have in the past, but we do. We respect everybody's opinion. And Chris, Rob, myself, the team here at Pursuit Live, we'll be the first ones to engage with, but doing it the right way with maybe that's somebody that doesn't agree with hunting, that maybe thinks it's the most inhumane thing possibly that a human could do to an animal. We take pride in being able to hold actual conversations with those people. It's happened to us a few times at some of these, like outdoor shows that we do. They're a little bit on the smaller scale, but a big enough crowd for 3 days where we're interacting with a lot of people. And maybe they're there for like the fishing side or the camping side, and they come across more so where like a lot of the hunting booths where hunting brands, and you'll be amazed how open people can be. But if you give them that respect up front, and we talk about that a lot, us as hunters, and you've heard, not from us, but you've heard it everywhere. We can be our worst enemies, and we are a lot of times. So that's just always something we preach it a lot on the show. You just got to use common sense, even though it's not so common, unfortunately. Just take a step back, because one thing I've said is if there's a world without hunting or fishing in it, I don't want to be a part of it. And I think you guys feel the same way. And that definitely aligns with your mission statement, with your business statement. And we talked on the phone a couple nights ago a few times, and I think, Logan, you mentioned that, that was one of the things that actually you were interested in joining the show, because you saw very similar interests between your guys' brand, your business, and what we do here at Pursuit Live. Is that accurate?
Oh, absolutely. And I don't want to butcher it. What was the phrase that you used? I really, really like it.
So our phrase for the show here is measure the story, not the inches. And I'm going to tap into Kyle because just before the show, Kyle hit us with a little piece of literature, if you would. And if you can you remember that off the top of your head?
Greeks.
Yes.
The Greeks. Oh, yeah. They have a saying I like. They say, don't tell me what you ate. Tell me who you ate with.
So, I mean, right there.
Yeah.
All the way back. So you can put Pursuit Live right there with like Socrates and whoever else you want. I mean, it's the same. It's the same wavelength at this point, people. I mean, we're just like, it's Joe Rogan and Socrates, and we're kind of right down the middle. So there you go. You don't get segues like that on any other podcast. I will promise you that.
No, but yeah, you guys, you stood out. You seem to have a kind of a passion that fit ours for handing this down to the next generation, the one after that. Hunting isn't really one of those things that you just walk out the door when you're 10 or 12 or whatever and do it yourself. It kind of takes someone taking you, right? And teaching you how to do it, gun safety, being a humane hunter, all these different things that come along with it. That's hard for a kid to learn on their own or accidentally even. And that, aligns perfectly with our give back, which is called Killing It for Kids. We give proceeds every bag we sell. We use nonprofits here locally and in other states to take kids on their first hunts. We went a little bit deeper. We really try to take children who are in single parent homes, just because, if you're getting raised by a single parent, you're probably raising yourself a little bit too. And that parent's working 2 jobs, you're not going to get in those woods. So it's been really fun. We've had really, really good experiences with these kids going out there. They have a blast, and it seems to be good for the people involved too. So everybody's winning. Yeah.
Sometimes we take the mom as well. And so she's just connect with the tradition. We kind of let go a little bit, because, moms are always busy, so she gets the benefit. But yeah, in the United States, 24% of kids grow up in a single parent home.
Wow.
That's a lot of tradition not getting passed down.
Absolutely.
And so somebody's got to do it. And so Killshot's stepping up to the plate, and cannot believe the amount of support that we've received, and how many people believe in youth development. It's awesome. I mean, you don't really hear about it too much, but we've gotten tons of, every ambassador that joins our program is just there to help with youth development. And so that's where, and that's the founder. I mean, it's Bob. His story is he grew up in a single parent home, and someone took him on his first hunt, changed his life, and now he's he shares that with his children, and made him realize. And I actually have a similar story. I didn't go hunting to a later age because I grew up in a single parent home as well, and fell in love with hunting in my mid-20s. I grew up in a hunting town. I grew up where everybody hunt. In fact, in the first week of duck season, school canceled because so many people weren't even going to come to school. Yep. And, the principal hunts duck. He's like, I think we're just going to cancel school. And that's so, crazy. Yeah. And, then the next, I'd go home and play video games. And next week I'd come back and all the guys are talking about, oh, my dad did this at duck camp. My uncle did this at duck camp. Look at this photo. And I felt left out. And actually at a young age, I built some resentment towards it, because I never felt like I fit in.
Okay.
And then when I got older, I had some buddies take me, and I said, holy shit, like this is the change my entire perspective on like where food comes from and sure. how life is appreciated, and the importance of an ecosystem and the importance of tradition. And how it usually gets passed down, and it's something that helps you feel connected to your grandpa when he passes away.
Absolutely.
So it's super important. And so, we're really passionate about youth development over here at Killshot.
I'm going to kind of try and connect the dots here full circle. Chris, I'm going to tap you in, buddy. I think that's a perfect time for you to even talk about, your position again with DSC, because again, all these common views just tie right into each other.
Yeah, I know we kind of talked about it a little bit offline, Logan, but one of the things that I love, because I grew up in a single parent home myself. I didn't, my mother raised me, and I didn't find out till I was much older. One of the reasons my mother divorced my father, and I'm not even kidding, it was in the divorce papers, that he hunted and fished way too much. So I was completely separated from the lifestyle that I live now. And as much as my mother tried to keep me away from it, this is exactly where I ended up. But, you know,
there is rednecks in New York. Let's just clarify that.
Yeah, you can say that. But, you know, as I got older, I got more involved in trying to give back. And one of the things, you know, that I'm involved in several nonprofits, but probably the biggest one is the Dallas Safari Club. And I was appointed to the board of directors last year. And it's kind of opened my eyes, you know, even further, because now we're giving away tons, and you know, we're taking in tons and tons of money, and it's going to great causes, much like what you guys are doing. And it's really something that a lot of the people in the outdoors, if we don't all work together, we're not going to have this sport anymore. And I know, you know, we all like to bust chops, whether it's crossbow hunters or rifle hunters versus bow hunters or this and that. But in the end, this is the sport we all love. And if we're not all working together or working towards a common goal to preserve this sport, it's not going to be around much longer. And, you know, much like your experience, Kyle, and my experience, like, we weren't really exposed to this as children. So if there's not somebody there to kind of help us along in that journey, it's going to continue to disappear as generations go on, because people are, you know, kids these days, what do they want to do? They want to play video games. They want to sit around. It's not about going outside anymore. So I think what you guys are doing is great. And, you know, I know we had talked about this previously, but you know, if there's anything we can do with the show to help, if I can work some inroads with some of the organizations I work with, I think that we all got to work together. So
we are looking for new nonprofits to work with. Yeah, we are
Absolutely.
looking for new nonprofits to work with. So always.
And I think we're really fortunate, even just like in the hunting, fishing space. It seems like this, call it a niche if you want, whatever it is, more than any other, seems to just have like this innate love for passing that tradition down. Yep. You know, I don't talk to any hunter that says, you know, I'm not going to take somebody out with me. I think after a certain point, that's kind of where your love for hunting comes from, is passing that down.
I think that's almost like a certain threshold, or like an achievement as a hunter or a fisherman, whatever that may be. If you're at that point where, man, I got 30 years of killing, I'll just put it that way, under my belt, my wall, my freezer, everything is full. That enjoyment then comes from getting somebody else out there. It doesn't even necessarily have to be a family member, but maybe just that, whatever, that the kid, the bar back in the restaurant, or whatever, anybody just saw a friend of a friend, whatever. But you can just tell that young boy or girl just wants to see what this is about. They're just fascinated by it. And then that excitement from them as the mentor becomes putting them on their first harvest, their first, you know, fish, whatever that may be. That's the sense of achievement that it changes to. And there's not a lot of, I guess at the end of the day, it's a hobby, even though we don't treat it that way and we spend a lot of money on it, whether it's hunting or fishing, whatever it may be. But, you know, you don't get that in other aspects of life. So it's very rewarding in multiple different ways. And I think that's what draws so many people to it. But I think it's also that retention of hunters, fishing. It's not like any other sport, I don't think. Yeah, especially if you're not playing at a high level. You know, that we've talked about that in the past. If you're not playing at a top tier level, where you're getting that constant inundation of just that rush, that adrenaline dump, it's very few things can duplicate that, in my opinion.
Right. I agree.
I've got an old friend that I know. He's 75, 80 or something. And he lives by it. He says he hasn't killed a deer in 30 years, which maybe he's lying, maybe he's telling the truth. But all he does is he takes people out with him. And, you know, kind of asking him why he does it. And the obvious stuff, like he likes to give back. But he said the rush from his first deer he killed, which we've all done that, you know, it's just insane. Your heart's going crazy. It's crazy adrenaline. Yeah. He said that the only time he'll get that now is if he can be with someone when they kill their first deer. So there's almost like, I don't know, a selfishness in it too, but it's for the right reasons that we want to take people out and pass it down.
That's true. All right. Enough of the mushy stuff. I'm going to keep this rolling here. We ready? All right. So you guys have now, you're established with Killshot. You guys are doing really good for yourselves. You're starting to get out there. You're starting to get noticed a little bit. In these, I'll still call it the earlier stages. What has surprised you the most about the company? It could be any aspect, but a positive outcome that you've seen, but you're like, wow, that really stood out to us. We weren't expecting that.
Oh man, the first thing that comes to my mind, which anything we do, we looked at it initially because Bob came from just the pure passion side, and that's fantastic. Like that's where it needs to start. But then at some point you have to interject the business into it, right? So we came at it from a certain angle, and we were thinking, we do this, we do that. Man, almost none of that mattered. The authenticity bleeding through is what tended to make the biggest difference the whole time.
Okay.
That's a way better answer than I would give. He's right. Yeah.
Well, what do you got? What do you got, Mr. Kyle? Talk to us.
Well, I mean, I just make coffee taste good. I put it in a bag and I send it to the customer. Like
you're selling yourself short.
So, I think it's just the community around it. That's what we were hoping to achieve. But like the quality of people that have just come from all corners of the country, I've just blown my mind. In that ambassador group, we've got the coolest people. Guys fresh off of TEDx talks and CrossFit champions and stuff. And I'm like, what? Like. How did we even start this thing? Guys like you, look what you're doing. Like, every day I'm like, how did we even start this thing? Like, this is great, and it just encourages us to make a bigger impact.
Perfect. See, that was a good answer. I faith in yourself, my man. I got you. We'll get through this.
I pulled that one out last minute, man.
But now I'm gonna hit both of you guys with a good question here, and you're both gonna have to give an answer. So I'm gonna start with you this time, Kyle, and answer this as short as possible. That's the tricky part. What does Killshot Coffee mean to you? It's only an hour show, though.
I'm glad you picked me second on this one. That was good.
I know. I told you I wasn't going to put you on the spot. I knew this one might put you on the spot a little bit. Just speak from your heart and your gut. What does it mean to you?
I guess in a few words, just like a high standard. We're pushing, the heart of the brand is youth development, but we're pushing ambassadors to be the best versions of themselves as well.
Exactly.
Our standard of behavior in the group is, it's not laziness, it's not complaining, it's not victim mindset, it's reaching out and helping other people. It's being the best version of yourself, and constantly working on it and being humble too, and realizing, hey, look, like there's no egos here. We're all broken in some way. Like we're just going to help. We're going to be the best version of ourselves and help people. So yeah, I think it's a high standard. That goes into coffee too, and that goes into the name, like Killshot. Like that's the best type of shot you can have. Absolutely. Every hunter wants to have a kill shot, and it's the most ethical way to drop an animal. Even a kill shot is a matter of excellence. So high standards is really what comes to mind, and we do that in every part of the company and the brand.
Right. So a way of life. You guys are making your brand into a lifestyle. You're driving that into the business aspects, but you guys are trying to live by this way. You're taking that name Killshot, that brand Killshot, and you're using that to elevate yourselves, everybody behind the scenes there with Killshot, your friends, your family. So that's awesome. That's we need, like you touched on earlier, we just need more of that. Just more of that, just common decency. Just try and be a better human when you can. Simple things, little chivalry. Hold the door for the lady that's walking in with her kids. Help the lady that's got to change her tire on the side of the highway or something. Just little things like that we are losing that as a generation, without a doubt. So I can totally relate to that, and solid answer. Logan, you're up though, buddy.
Yeah, no, he said it. It's 2 words, probably culture, which he touched on tremendously there, and then just making that culture persist via taking kids on hunts, via helping your neighbor, whatever it may be. And we found out really quickly that there wasn't a culture to establish. It was already there. You just had to put guardrails up and give people an outlet for it to persist. So like you said, we've kind of turned into this lifestyle company. Not that we're pushing any new message or anything. We're just pushing the same message that everybody already wanted to hear. We're just kind of turning the mirror back on them. And it's been great. Like Kyle said, there's been so many people. And also, too, hunters I don't know how we have people in this group that, you're in Oregon, they know each other. He's in Florida, I'm in Arkansas. I know someone from Minnesota. It's so crazy how it seems to just connect people that seemingly have no other connection in their background. Like you said, we have CrossFit champions, we have doctors, we have insane people that you look at them and you wouldn't ever think they'd be a hunter. Absolutely. But is it like the little Venn diagram? There's always that little bit of overlap between every little subsection, and hunting tends to be the one.
And not for nothing, coffee. Coffee is such a unit. Coffee is a tool. Yeah. In my everyday life, I'll speak for Chris on that. It is a freaking tool because, like Chris was saying, he left the house at 4. I was right behind him at 4:30. I mean, we burn the midnight oil. A lot of us do, not just us. A large portion of this country is putting in some serious work hours, time behind the wheel, commuting, getting the kids to whatever they got to get to, sports, music, whatever it may be. People are just busier than ever. And I know for a fact coffee is that staple and that main source of, honestly, just it's the go juice, the caffeine, whatever it may be. It's a tool. It's not just a product anymore.
It's kind of like our slogan. I mean, our slogan is actually helping you take your best shot of the day. So we're not just trying to help you take a kill shot when you're in the tree stand. Like we want you to take a kill shot and you're giving a presentation at work, or you're having a hard conversation with an employee that's, or you're trying to, any goal that you have in your life, we want you to hit the target. And like you said, coffee helps you just about with all that.
Absolutely. Chris, were you going to hop in, bud? I thought I heard you.
Yeah, I was going to say, I make high quality auto parts for the American working man. That's what I am.
There we go.
That is a great movie. All right, guys, I got one more business question. Then we're going to go full on coffee talk. I need a business goal for Killshot for 2026. And I'll put that up to either one of you or both of you.
You went first last time, Kyle. So, I guess we want to take over the world, but we got to aim a little bit smaller than that. Nice. We really want to connect with as many people, brands, companies, nonprofits as possible that share this goal, obviously. We were pushing real hard for a real long time in the wrong places. And once we became our authentic selves, let the brand speak for itself, and really just kind of leaned on some shoulders of some people, things started opening up. So like you said earlier, I mean, there's such a need for not what we're doing, but just what we kind of talk about and seemed like people wanted in the first place anyway. We're not doing anything different. If we can get more people interested in the mission and just kind of help them realize what they've been doing this whole time, then we're happy with it.
Awesome. How about you, Kyle?
Yeah, I'd say one of my business goals would be for the company. I mean, I think the biggest one is maybe a few thousand brand ambassadors by the end of the year. Okay. You probably don't know this, but we reject quite a few applications. There's a lot of we developed the application process to get a sense of their personality. Right. We leave them very open-ended questions that let us see what their values are. And, smart. If we see any ego in there or thrill kill guys or selfish people, we reject them. So we're trying to read between the lines. And so everybody's vetted and qualified before they get approved to be in the program. And I think that's why there's so much energy in that group, is because everybody believes in the same values, right. The importance of faith and family and tradition and hunting and youth development. I mean, those key words have to be in their application. Well, now I'm giving away answers, but
you can still read between the lines. You're not going to be able to pull it. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. I mean, we get some applications where people are just like, man, I just love killing shit and coffee gets me up in the morning. No, what? No, man. So I want to get a few thousand really qualified brand ambassadors and create an army of people out there that function at a high standard, that are pushing themselves and out there just uplifting the community, being the versions of citizens that I feel like we need to see.
Very cool. Well, I hope and I think we can help you guys with that along the way as we keep pairing up and working together. So I definitely have high hopes without a doubt. Chris, you good, buddy? I know you're hurting a little. Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I haven't got my voice back yet, but I'm good. All right. All right. It is time. It is coffee talk time, boys. So Kyle, I'm definitely going to lean a little bit more to you in this segment. And at any point, if you're willing to, if you could do that tour again as the topics come up. So actually, why don't you let people know where you're at, and you can start segueing in, let them see a little bit, and then I'll start hitting you with a few questions when you're in the other room.
Yeah. Okay. You want me to do the tour?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, cool.
If you're okay with that.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah. All right. Let's
Great.
look at Killshot HQ. Let's not look at my messy office.
It's a working office. That's what that means.
It is. I mean, we're up here working right now. It's about 8 o'clock. All right. This is Killshot HQ. We're in Central Arkansas. So this is most of the warehouse. We've got some other units nearby, but so all the raw coffee comes in right here. We're buying several shipping containers of coffee a year, mainly from countries like Brazil and Colombia. One thing I didn't mention earlier is I actually live half the year in South America. I work directly with a lot of our producers to develop the product. Turns out when they like you, they give you a better deal. And honest to God, that's one reason why our coffee it tastes better and it's affordable because of it's all relationship based. Business is relationships.
Sure.
And so
is that one localized, dedicated like source of that bean? Like, do you use the same supplier every time?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
We've been buying this Brazil coffee from a family in Brazil for 7 years.
That's awesome.
And so maybe where we don't have direct relationships with would be some of our African origins.
Okay.
We just don't buy like a lot of volume and from them. And Africa is a totally different beast than Central America.
Okay.
While
we're on the beans, if you can you give like the skinny version of the different style? Like, what makes the difference in the roast? Obviously, the bean is like the nuts and the bolts, the foundation of everything. But like, let's say like your Huntsman roast here. I'm looking at it now. That's a medium dark blend. Then I got the shot call that I'm drinking now. It's labeled as American. And then just straight up love the title, the Morning Wood. I mean, that's just gold right there. That's a dark blend. So can you give a quick skinny version? I know you guys go into great depth on the website because the website is awesome. But for the people listening tonight, what's the skinniest way to break them down?
Yeah. So first off, for the viewers, this is what raw coffee looks like. So it's green. It's actually a seed. It's the seed of a fruit called a coffee cherry. And so imagine a red cherry, and inside that red cherry is 2 seeds. That's what you just saw were the seeds.
Okay.
So it's not a bean. And then we put it in this machine right here, and this machine basically turns the bean with the seed from being green to brown, and then we just call it a bean because it looks like a bean.
Gotcha.
So this is where a lot of the magic happens, but we got to give credit where it's due, which is at the farm. I mean, if producers care about the coffee, it's going to taste good. And if they don't, it's going to taste bad. And if they really don't, it's all going to die from disease. So
what creates that burnt flavor? And I'm not going to put a name out there, but there's a very well-known coffee where, in my opinion, limited opinion, it just tastes burnt.
You could just say simple? You could just say Starbucks, Dave. We all know what you're doing.
I'm going to put my tinfoil hat on and back away from the mic now.
So yeah, Starbucks is intentionally burning their beans because they're buying low quality to make more money. And if you burn it, and then you mix it with milk and sugar, you can't really tell it's bad quality coffee.
Kind of what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, literally. And I have to give them some fairness. When you're buying coffee at that scale, it's really hard to control quality.
Exactly.
They're probably buying low quality coffee for the profit, but it really at that scale is hard to have a high quality bean. So yeah, they're roasting it real dark. Actually, these are beans. I don't know if you can see them, but these are beans that have fallen out of the roaster. These got stuck inside the machine, and then they got roasted several times and burnt. So this is probably what you'd find at Starbucks.
Yes, save those. We can sell those to Starbucks.
That's right.
What type of qualities do you look for? Like, do you ever do an on-site QC before you purchase, or are you relying on your source now to do kind of that QC for you?
Totally. When you're buying millions of dollars worth of coffee. There's a rigorous quality control process throughout this entire supply chain. Fortunately, we do trust our producers, so we're not, you know, panicking every time we sign a big contract because we feel like we're going to get screwed.
Right.
But yeah, so in the coffee industry, coffee quality is graded on a scale from 0 to 100. You've got licensed professionals called Q graders, which are the equivalent to sommeliers in the coffee industry that have they've been tested rigorously and they've been licensed to objectively score the quality of the coffee. And again, it's from 0 to 100, 100 being like the best coffee ever, 0 being like what they sell to prisons. It's literally got sticks and mold and sometimes
cowboy
dead
coffee at that point. John Wayne coffee.
No, worse. So that score is going to greatly determine the price, right? The higher the score, more expensive the coffee. And so coffee hunters like myself, so to speak, are going to Origin, grading and assessing the coffee, agreeing with the producer on a quality, and locking in multi-year contracts. And so that's kind of how the coffee buying world works. On the roasting side, it's a little sciencey. I mean, it's chemistry. You know, there's certain chemical reactions that occur in a bean, and every bean is going to be different. You've got different species of coffee. So think about, and then you've got different varieties of coffee. A variety, there's actually a ton of variations in variety. Think about a red apple and a green apple. These are different varieties of apples. Taste very different, right? When you eat a green apple versus a red apple, coffee's the same way. We've got subspecies called varieties that are very different from each other. And so, you know, some varieties are more resistant to disease, but some varieties taste better. So farmers, you know, they typically plant several different varieties.
Yep.
And so we know what we're looking for, and there's different species. I'm sure you've heard of Arabica. That is a species. Another common species would be Robusta, which Starbucks does buy a lot of. It does taste bad. It tastes really bad. There's like no good Robusta, like seriously. They tried and it just didn't work.
Right.
But it's really cheap because it grows at low elevation and it's extremely insect resistant to insect damage. And so it's really, really cheap. So you'll find Robusta in Starbucks and everything down. So like Folgers and McDonald's coffee and Maxwell, that's probably like majority, if not totally, Robusta. And so everything that we have here is 80 and above, which gives it a different category of pricing. It trades on a different market. If you were to Google C market right now, you could see how it's trading. It trades just like the stock market, and you can buy futures.
Really?
But yeah. We buy off the C market, and we're a couple years out now. That's interesting. Yeah, it goes up. Last year it was at all-time highs. It's a terrible time to be in coffee. But and then plus we had the tariffs last year. I mean, it almost put me out of business. But we survived, and coffee prices are starting to normalize, and the tariffs are mostly off. So we're back, baby. But so yeah, that's kind of a snapshot of the coffee market. Again, the roasting side of things, it is chemistry. There are plenty of organic compounds inside of coffee. It's a plant. And so you have to be adaptive. You have to watch your data. It's all data. You watch your data while you're roasting. You make sure that you're getting the behavior that you're expecting. And if you don't get the behavior you expect, then you adjust. Might not sound like that big of a deal when you're roasting a couple pounds of coffee, but when you roast hundreds of thousands of pounds of coffee, there's so much variance in agriculture. Sure. Right? Like agriculture is just a very non-consistent thing. And so that's kind of roasting. It's actually easy to roast coffee and make it taste good. What's hard is roasting coffee thousands of times and making every single batch taste good. That's the hard thing.
I believe it.
Yeah. So
I'm going to chime in with a quick question to get Logan back in the mix. Now, this may be an elementary business question, but I honestly don't know. Did you guys have Morningwood, Huntsman's Roast, and Shot Call? Did you guys have those brand the names of those lineups before you sourced the beans, or was it vice versa?
Usually the beans come first. We've got a lot of control at the roasting level, and Kyle can speak more to this, but a few degrees here or there, a few more minutes here and there. makes a huge difference. So you were talking about the Huntsman versus the Morningwood.
Yep.
This
is my favorite so far, by the way.
The Huntsman, yeah, that seems to be the go-to for a lot of people.
Yeah. That's this one right here. That's this.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good Not stuff. In the flesh, but in the sack, in the bean, in the fruit. We'll work some magic around that.
Yeah,
that'll be a great little blooper rule.
But no, so it's a little bit of both. And I got a shout out. If you can hold up the shot collar again, that's a great brand called Natural Gear Camo that licensed their camouflage pattern out to us. So that one was just kind of us getting together with them, discussing, seeing what they liked, and putting one together. There's a lot you can do with the coffee bean. There's a ton.
Okay. So, Kyle, back to you, buddy, while we're still in this part of the shop, and then we'll keep going. We'll get to the back section. Let's say somebody wants to order, a full bean package of Killshot, not a ground version. What's the easiest way, somebody that, like myself, I do want to try it. What's the easiest way at home with the simplest setup to get a nice, fresh ground cup of coffee?
So you're asking about home grinders?
Yeah.
So stay away from blade coffee grinders. If you want to make a good cup of coffee, you have to use what's called a burr grinder, which is when these grinders have two like spinning discs like this, and you control the distance between those two discs.
Okay.
A blade grinder is just like a fan, like a ceiling fan, just whacking the coffee. And what happens is you get incredible amounts of inconsistency, right? You get big chunks, small chunks.
Okay.
And ultimately what you're doing when you're brewing coffee is you're putting water on the coffee particle. You're dissolving a certain like an ideal amount. You don't want to dissolve all of it. You want to dissolve just certain amounts that taste good. And so what happens is if you have really, really teeny tiny particles, like microscopic, and you have big ones, those are going to dissolve or extract. That's the word that we use in the industry. They're going to be very different from each other. So you're never going to achieve consistency, and you're actually going to almost guarantee that you're going to extract less desirable flavor qualities. When you have a burr grinder, you can control particle size. It can make it completely uniform. And then if it tastes too bitter, I mean, this is kind of like layman. We can get more technical, but if it tastes too bitter, it's probably too fine. You want to make the grind a little more coarse, so you can start controlling. So to get a burr grinder, it's a little pricier. It's about $100 typically, but it's totally worth the investment.
Cool. All right, so why don't you continue? Why don't you go past the roaster there, head towards the back section there that you showed us earlier, and we'll take it to the next phase. What is the lead time? Let's say you throw a batch in the roaster. How long does that take roughly to go till you grind it down, and then where you're heading now to the package area?
Yeah, so one roast will only take about 15 minutes, and so not very long. It takes about, turn it from green to brown, it's about 15 minutes.
Okay.
That machine will do about 50 pounds every roast, so you're looking at 50 times 4. What is that? I live in Arkansas, so what's 50 times 4? 200. 200.
200.
Right, so 200.
200.
Yeah, I don't have that many toes and fingers. I can't count that.
How many ends is in 200?
Literally. So this is the packaging room. This is where the finished product is made. It looks really messy in that. Well, yeah.
You guys are working, man. That's good.
Yeah. It's 9 p.m. We're up here packing right now. You can see some Killshot stuff right here. It's all Killshot packaging. There's the Morningwood, our stiffest roast. And so the roasted coffee will flow in this direction. And we've got this coffee grinder right here, which costs about as much as a car. It'll grind unbelievable amounts of coffee. And then it goes into these machines, which are called weigh-fill machines. And they dose the correct amount of coffee into the bag. And then we have this machine right here, which is a band sealer and also nitrogen flushes the coffee. But believe it or not, despite how fancy this machine is, the best, most reliable piece of equipment in this roasting facility is this freaking hair straightener. It's $15 and we use the crap out of it.
That's great.
Yeah. And so we stage pallets in this direction. So when Killshots go into grocery stores like Harps, we'll go to pallet. And then we've got another room where we stage all the pallets. And then, this is actually where we keep the cold brew cans. This stuff is good, guys. I drink cold brew everywhere I go. Canned cold brew typically tastes like crap. This is really good. We're addicted. I drink a ton.
So yeah. This is Killshot HQ, and this is the packaging room. So
That's all. We appreciate you doing that, man. Thank you very much. That's pretty cool to see behind the scenes stuff like that. I think you guys are the first people or brand that we've had on able to do something like that. So that's pretty cool.
My pleasure.
So, I mean, I will ask while we're here, Logan, what's your favorite? If you had to pick one, what's your favorite flavor so far?
All right, so I have to be completely transparent. When I first started, and we
Don't tell me you don't drink coffee. That'll be a hell of a spin.
When we first started, I did not. And I remember we were at the facility there in Little Rock, and we do. Was it every Tuesday, Kyle? You guys do the tasting, the cupping.
quality.
Yeah, and they'll have quality control, and he was talking about Q graders earlier. He's also a licensed Q grader, so he is very, very. If somebody did anything to the bean, he can taste it. And I remember going down this line, and we're tasting all these coffees, and it just tasted like coffee to me. And so finally, he's worn me down. I'm addicted to the cold brew now, is what I drink. It's a little more my speed. They're a lot easier, can take them with me. So that's what I lean towards is the cold brew now.
Chris was liking them. He tore into them pretty good.
Oh, good. When did you order them last?
Well, the cold brew I got from Rob to try, and phenomenal.
Where?
Oh,
do you know when?
Yeah, he had the first batch, Kyle.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've greatly improved it. The new stuff as of about 2 weeks ago. If you get online and order some, we'll send you some extra. But it's really good. I've been drinking like 2 or 3 cans a day.
It's noticeably better from a guy
that Killshot cold brew, man.
Lifts the bar up. Yeah, from a guy that didn't like coffee, this has made me a believer. The cold brew.
Nice. How about yourself, Kyle? If you had to pick one
Of the Killshot lineup?
Yeah. No, Duncan.
Well, I've got a few brands here. Man, I like them all for different reasons. I mean, yeah, I'm hooked on the cold brew right now. So we actually used a really special Peruvian coffee in that cold brew.
Okay.
And it's phenomenal. Maybe the Huntsman is probably the one I would drink. Like that's my favorite roast profile, and that's like the Brazilian coffee that we've had for so long. I mean, if I had to pick one coffee to drink for the rest of my life, it'd be that one. So probably the Huntsman.
Okay. Yeah, that just seems like that. Just the meat and potatoes. Just grab it. You're in the morning. You just need a cup of coffee, or honestly, any time of day, even it just goes good.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
All right. Well,
Dave, you said you're a Huntsman guy. How do you do yours normally? Are you full black? Do you like to church it up a little bit?
I'm not as tough as my wife.
He just chews on it. He just breaks
it. Okay. There we go.
I'm not as tough as my wife. She drinks her coffee black, and I tip my hat to her. I've never been able to do that. Little splash of whole milk, just enough so it changes like the color in the in the the Yeti or whatever I got. Shake it up, and that's it.
Hey, this is a safe space. You could have said anything, and we'd have been happy.
Nah.
We're good.
If I'm at like a diner or something, I'll treat myself to a little sugar in there, but I try and just keep it to a little bit of whole milk. I'm drinking the shot cola tonight. I just got the variety pack from you guys with these 3 in it, so
perfect.
I sparked that bad boy up tonight.
Dave, you put cream in your coffee? I'm getting off this podcast right now.
Yeah. A little bit of milk. I won't lie. I got thick skin. You're not going to hurt me, Kyle. But again, very good. That Huntsman, I definitely could see that. And then it has been my go-to. The shot cola, awesome. Like I'm drinking a little bit tonight. Cold day, cold windy day. It's just hitting the spot good. So your guys' lineup is definitely versatile. It'll whatever type of palate you have for coffee, whether you like it strong, weak, flavor preference, it's there without a doubt. And that's interesting, and that's what excites us as well, because whoever wants to take the lead on this, Logan or Kyle, why don't you guys talk about what Killshot Coffee and Pursuit Live has worked out?
Yeah, we're doing this thing, man. We're joining hands. We're super pumped. We've been talking to you guys for it feels like 2 months now. Have really grown to like you guys. Obviously we're aligned on everything when it comes to the give back, and just you guys are fun. I like you guys. We like you guys. Rob's the man. So it was an easy decision. we're looking to grow together and make you guys part of what we stand for and vice versa, and be your coffee moving forward.
You hear that, Chris? Good job. Tonight. Great job. Hit that button. So yes, Killshot Coffee is now the official coffee of Pursuit Live, and we are happy to be partnered up with you guys. And this is just the beginning, literally just the beginning tonight. And we have been talking, it was first time meeting Kyle and talking to Kyle tonight, but I am very excited for what this has in store for both sides, without a doubt. This is going to be a two-way street. And the biggest thing is that alignment of goals, what we stand for. I know we talked on that in the beginning, but that's important. Take the products out of it. When you got two teams, two brands, whatever it may be coming together, you got to have that type of connection, and we do. So I think that's just a great foundation for good things to come. What do you think, Kyle?
Oh, I feel blessed. I mean, honestly, the partnerships in this industry they keep coming, and they're all amazing, and I think it's necessary to achieve our mission. We got to work together. We're stronger together.
Absolutely.
Than we are apart. And that's the strength of this community, is that it's willing to collaborate. That's not like other communities.
Right.
So honored to be here and honored to have the partnership. So thank you guys.
Thank you. You could do all the media you want, all the promotions you want, but especially in a niche market like this, word of mouth is everything.
Right.
That speaks to the quality of you guys, the team that you guys are trying to assemble, the vetting process that you do. It stems all right back to, like I asked you, what is Killshot? And that's why I asked that question, because everything now we collectively do, it all stems from that mindset. It's bigger than just the name now. It's more than that. It's more than just the brand. It's more than just the coffee. It's growing, and that's where you got to have the right people in place to grow. You guys were very gracious enough. And producer Chris, what's your famous line when we have something a little bit interesting for the viewers?
It pays to watch.
That's right. I think it pays to tune in, but that's all right. You're not feeling too hot tonight. I'll let it go. So yes, it pays to tune in. So Mr. Logan, what special are we offering tonight?
We've got a 24-hour, anybody watching, we've got a 25% off coupon. We've got links for you, or you can go to the website. Just make sure you use code PURSUIT when you check out, and you're going to save a bunch of money.
Absolutely. I think attaboy, producer Chris got the ticker on the bottom there. Anybody that is watching on YouTube, I don't think we could see it on the Instagram. Oh, no, it is up on the top there. So if you're watching Instagram Live, it's up on the top there. You can see the banner. If you're watching on YouTube, it should be coming across the bottom. 25% off for the next 24 hours. If you have any questions with that, reach out to either Chris, Rob, myself. We'll get you guys squared away. Also, we're working on a daily use promo code. Just give us a little bit of time for that. We're going to square it away. And we're happy to help you guys, happy to promote you guys. Why don't we take the last couple of minutes here, because we did touch on some of it. You guys also offer other products as well. K-Pods, which is a very interesting aspect. That's widely used. I know you guys were talking about you stacking up on some apparel and some merch. So if there's anything specific you want to talk about, by all means.
Man, I'll touch on the merch, and then Kyle, I'll let you handle the coffee.
I'm a hat guy, legit.
Yeah, we found quickly too, and again, this is just the community telling us what they want. There's a need for some merch, and good merch stuff that if you don't drink coffee, if you don't like hunting, you're going to wear it anyway. Something you want to wear. So we're trying to take our time intentionally and make sure this is good stuff we're putting out. Hats, hoodies, all that good stuff coming soon.
Nice. Anything to add, Kyle?
I'm sorry. I almost died. I was coughing and I didn't hear.
No,
I had to mute myself. I'm sorry about that.
We were just talking
Totally
touching on how much you guys offer besides the actual just the ground coffee or the whole bean. You guys have the K-Pods. You're working on the merch, the hats, and whatever else may be coming. The K-Pods is interesting. I'll pitch that to you. Have you seen a good uptick in sales with that? Do you see an even amount? What do you think that looks like?
Yeah, they are very popular. I mean, personally, I'm not a coffee pod drinker, but we make sure that it stands. I mean, I ensure quality in the company, and I buy the competing brands, and I make sure ours tastes better. Yeah, around the corner this year, we're going to be trying to develop some really unique instant coffee products.
Okay.
Of course, they're going to be extremely good. That's the struggle with that product in the industry, is that it typically is pretty low quality, but there's some innovators out there that we're going to be just knocking on the doors asking for some help with. But yeah, I mean, get you out. That's what hunters need, right? Is when you're out fishing or hunting, you need instant coffee. And there's the potential to make that an actually good product. So that's one of my projects this year. And then I felt like Logan that we have another coffee. Logan's merchandise. I just do the coffee.
We're like earlier, we really try to hold off until it's perfect, merch included, in any new SKU, anything. We're really looking to expand the drinkables. The ones we've got now have been such a hit. We know people love their mocha, their vanilla, all that good stuff. We're working on that. It's tough to find something we're comfortable launching because we want to make sure quality's kind of at the forefront. But
we have tried 10 different co-packers for a mocha, and I've thrown them all out the window.
You wouldn't believe.
It's terrible.
That just means when you do launch it, it's going to be top notch. So I
told you what is Killshot means. It means a high standard.
Good.
I told you. And so we can make money on some of these garbage mochas, but I'm not going to put it out.
Good for you, man. Good for you. We had an interesting question come in on the Instagram live here. I'm going to clean it up a little bit. So, let's say what in a coffee, not Killshot, what causes that bubble gut scenario where, let's say, if you're in the woods, it's got to make a little visit behind the old stump there.
I think at one point I knew the chemistry around this, but no, I get it. So if your gut is sensitive to coffee, one thing you might want to look at is cold brew. A lot of the organic, there's acids in coffee that cause that for sensitive stomachs. And so when you cold brew coffee, the coffee is actually, the temperature of the coffee never goes up. It's cold. It's brewed cold. And that's definitely proven to be better on the gut. In fact, it's actually one reason why I drink cold brew sometimes. It just makes my stomach feel better. So cold brew, like the brew method, is actually going to make an impact. But then the quality of the coffee does make a difference in how it's roasted. A lighter roast is definitely going to have more acidity. If you drink on an empty stomach, that can do it. Actually, for people who have sensitive stomachs, drinking it with cream and sugar can help with digestion. But a lot of low altitude grown coffees are going to be higher in those, like, more less pleasant acids. So like a really high quality coffee is almost always grown at higher altitudes. We talked about how earlier Robustas are grown at a lower altitude. Those are chock full of the acids, and I did forget all the names, like malic acid and I did forget the names. It's been like 10 years. But low altitude coffee is chock full of those acids that hurt your stomach. So if you're buying high quality beans, which you will be from Killshot, it's going to help. If you brew the coffee with like a cold brew, it's going to help as well.
Okay. We didn't touch on this, but I think I saw a comment about it, so I'll bring it up. What do you happen to know roughly, let's say in one mug of coffee, the caffeine amount? People are curious about that always.
Our coffee is probably pretty equivalent to any coffee out there in terms of caffeine per ounce. I think like a 12-ounce mug is going to have about 80 to 120 milligrams of caffeine.
Okay.
I don't know what's in our cold brew, but I think it's a lot because it gets me pretty wired. It's probably closer to 200.
That's what Chris said. It's got a little kick to it, which that's what you need. If you're grabbing that cold brew in the can, chances are, for some people they're on the go. So you're gonna need it, you're gonna want it. So why not? I feel like that can is the perfect area for that. If you are heading out early in the morning, you head into the blind, you head into the flooded timbers, wherever you're heading out on the boat, throw it in the cooler, you're good to go. There's definitely a use for it, without a doubt.
Absolutely.
This last question, and we can start wrapping up after this. What do you guys think is the most common mistake at home in the kitchen somebody makes when they're brewing a pot of coffee, like a drip pot?
I guess, I'll take that, Logan. That's a coffee question. I would say three things come to mind. It depends on if they're getting whole bean or ground, right?
Let's go with the ground. Probably, I think a lot of people go with the ground.
Okay. So I would say the coffee to water ratio It's a big one. So, and that's, if you want it stronger, make it stronger, just add more coffee. But if you want a really good cup, you want to control the recipe on that. And then another one would be just cleanliness. Coffee can build up mold on all of the plastic and the glass. And, I don't know if you've ever done this, but if you drink a certain coffee for a long time, let's say you've been drinking Folgers for a long time, and then you put Killshot in your brewer and you didn't clean anything, you're going to taste the Folgers in that cup and in that Killshot cup. And so cleaning it is really important. And then proper storage. If it's ground, you want to make sure you just keep it airtight. And oxygen is the enemy. It's going to oxidize and it'll lose flavor. So just, if it's in the bag, roll it down real tight, put it in the cabinet, things like that.
You guys have these really handy little, might be hard to see. Let me grab this one. You can see it better. These little tabs on the top here that come from you guys in the factory. Without a doubt.
My production team hates it. My production team hates it because they got to roll down.
I know. But little things like that, talking about keep, preserving the product at that point to keep that quality that you guys work so hard to produce for us.
Absolutely.
Producer Chris, you got any closing notes, buddy? And then we could start wrapping up.
No. I just want to thank you guys for coming on tonight. And we're really excited to be partnering with you guys, and we're really looking forward to this. So thank you guys.
Absolutely. We're going to have you guys on pretty regularly if you're willing to. Anytime you got a new product you're ready to talk about, anything like that, we are here in full support of Killshot, the whole team. You guys have our full support. With that being said, why don't you guys talk about any social medias you have, the official website, so we can help steer people that way? I'll give that to Mr. Logan.
Yeah, killshotcoffeeco.com. Just look around. We've got a lot of banners on there. There's discounts everywhere. You're never going to pay full price if you look close enough.
Nice.
And we made it that way. So yeah, if you guys can find us there, Killshot Coffee Co. on everything else, Facebook, Instagram, check us out. Also, by the way, big shout out to producer Chris. He's here, 106-degree fever.
I'm never going to hear the end of this. Oh, he got a runny nose.
Maybe it was 99. It was something like that. Sick as can be, best in the game. Dave, appreciate you as well, man. We had a good time. We'd love to be here.
Good. Well, we try, man. We try our best to keep this light, entertaining, but, we appreciate and respect what you guys are doing, behind the scenes with this business, because that's what it is, man. And you guys are in it for the right reasons, and we're happy to be a part of it. Kyle, I feel like we could do another 2 hours on 8 segments of coffee, and maybe in the future we could do something like that, a little coffee talk. But thank you so much.
Next time we'll do one from when I'm at the farm.
Now we're talking.
Colombia.
We're talking there. I got to brush up on my Espanol a little bit, but that's all right. Puedo hablar poquito. That's all right. We'll go. We'll throw the subtitles up, and we'll be good to go.
Cállate.
Yeah. Okay. So, thank you again for the little behind-the-scenes story there. We really appreciate that. That was really cool to see, and just great talk tonight, guys. And I'm glad we finally got to break the ice on this. It's been, like you said, Logan, about 2 months in the works, so I'm happy. I'm excited, and go buy some coffee, everybody. Let's go.
Hey, it was a blast. Thank you guys for having us.
You got it. You got it. Producer Chris, buddy, why don't you wrap us up?
All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on another episode of Pursuit Live. Kyle, Logan, again, thank you guys for taking the time to chat with us tonight. Again, we're really looking forward to this. Thank you for hooking our listeners up with a great promo here. Hopefully everybody's on the website already putting in their purchases, and we're looking forward to working with you guys. So thank you again for coming on tonight. Everybody, we're here. We're back. Season 5. We're doing it. So, guys, thank you. Thank you to everybody who tuned in tonight. Hunt safe. Fish safe. We'll see you again in 2 weeks. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Bye.